Okay, picture this. You're at the airport, and instead of doing that frantic dance where you're emptying your pockets, taking off your shoes, and desperately searching for your paper boarding pass, you just walk right through. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, it's actually happening. In this explainer, we're diving into a massive shift in how we travel. We're looking at a huge initiative called Digi Yatra, launched under the Ministry of Civil Aviation, which is completely redesigning the airport experience from the ground up.
So I want you to start by asking yourself a pretty crazy question. What if your face was your boarding pass? Literally, just your face. For decades, the aviation industry has been totally choked by the operational inefficiency of manual identity verification. Think about it. Every single time a human security agent has to look at your face, look down at a piece of paper, and stamp it, it creates a micro delay. Multiply that by millions of passengers and boom, you've got massive congestion. This initiative, it's the bold answer to that massive logistical nightmare.
Let's look at the before and after here, because the contrast is actually mind-blowing. On one side, we have the before, an era we all know too well. Tedious manual processes, redundant ID checks, lost paper passes, and then look at the after. We're talking completely contactless entry driven entirely by facial recognition technology, or FRT. And hey, this isn't just about saving you a few minutes of hassle, it's about rapid throughput. By entirely removing those physical friction points, airports can process massive crowds with incredible speed and efficiency.
Here is the roadmap for our strategic briefing today. We'll start by redesigning the airport experience, go inside the Digi Yatra ecosystem, break down the 4 pillars of contactless travel, look at the real-world passenger benefits, tackle the realities of security and privacy, and finish up with a quick final review to lock in those key takeaways.
All right, part 1. Inside the Digi Yatra ecosystem and the genesis of digital travel. You know, a national infrastructure transformation of this magnitude doesn't just happen overnight. It takes some serious calculated planning.
If we trace the timeline back, you can see just how deliberately this was paced. The groundwork was actually laid way back in 2019 when a joint venture was formed to create the Digi Yatra Foundation. It took years of development, intense testing, and infrastructure building before the actual facility was officially rolled out across India in December of 2022. It wasn't rushed. This represents a massive, coordinated push toward building real, long-term technological independence in the aviation sector.
Now, if there is one single keyword I want you to remember from this entire explainer, it's this acronym right here, DYCE. DYCE. That stands for the Digi Yatra Central Ecosystem. Think of DYC as the digital brain behind the whole operation. It's the core digital infrastructure creating the platform, and most importantly, it acts as the absolute custodian of the passenger ID validation process. So whenever an identity needs verifying, DYC is the invisible engine making it happen seamlessly in the background.
Moving on to part 2, the 4 pillars of contactless travel, or the architecture of seamlessness. We know the brain of the operation, but how is this huge technological facilitation actually structured on the ground?
While the core mechanism is pretty brilliant, Digi Yatra operates as a decentralized mobile wallet-based identity management platform, and as we mentioned, it's powered entirely by facial recognition technology. Now, why does the decentralized wallet part matter so much? Because it directly addresses the elephant in the room, privacy. Your identity isn't just sitting in some giant, vulnerable central database somewhere. It's managed securely, which places a massive premium on data protection and digital governance.
And to support all of that, the platform is built on 4 interconnected pillars: connected passengers, connected airports, connected flying, and connected systems. This is way bigger than just a fancy app on your phone. This entire structural framework ensures that every single piece of the aviation puzzle, from you, the traveler, to the terminal, the aircraft, and the back-end IT, they're all seamlessly speaking the exact same digital language.
When we look at the core objectives driving the system, we see a really fascinating blend of economics, governance, and security. First up, it aims to achieve much better throughput using the infrastructure we already have, meaning we don't necessarily need to spend billions building bigger airports if we can just move people through them faster, right? That directly lowers the cost of operations. It completely digitizes clunky manual processes. Furthermore, it actively enhances security standards by backing these new digital IDs with super strong verifiable government credentials like Aadhaar.
Which brings us to part 3, real-world passenger benefits. Beyond just skipping lines. Let's zoom in from that big macro governance picture to what this actually feels like for you, the everyday traveler walking through the terminal. Walk with me through this completely redesigned journey. Step 1 actually starts before you even leave for the airport, by identifying price trends and estimating future airfares. In Step 2, when you book, you can optionally link your Aadhaar for automated, paperless check-ins. Then, Step 3, the best part. Instead of doing the awkward shuffle with your coffee and your boarding pass, you're walking straight through security scanners using advanced biometrics, completely unhindered. And Step 4, the seamlessness keeps going even after you land, pinging you the exact moment your luggage hits the baggage claim belt.
And the perks go way beyond just skipping the ID check lines. The advanced capabilities here are totally transformative. Passengers get real-time notifications about queue lengths and delays, giving you total visibility over your trip. You can navigate the airport using interactive digital kiosks and guidance systems. You can even stay connected to book in-flight services or check out customized digital offerings and experience zones. It essentially flips the airport from a place of stressful waiting into a highly interactive, responsive environment.
All right, part 4, security, privacy, and reality. The limitations. To truly master this concept, we have to put our critical thinking hats on and look at the actual physical realities of aviation security. Because here is a vital operational reality that is clearly stated in the framework. The passenger will still have to follow the normal procedure to clear security and board the aircraft. Let me be clear. Digi Yatra is a phenomenal identity facilitation tool, but there is absolutely no bypassing strict, non-negotiable physical security screening. Your bag is still going through the X-ray, and you are still walking through the metal detector. Let's contrast these two ideas to really understand the boundaries of the ecosystem. On the digital facilitation side, we have this amazing decentralized wallet protecting your privacy, with Aadhaar integration raising the bar for identity standards. But on the physical reality side, standard physical security clearance remains absolutely mandatory. Think of it this way. The technology completely removes the friction of proving who you are, but it doesn't replace the physical necessity of checking what you are bringing onto that aircraft.
And that brings us to part 5, final review and key takeaways. Concept mastery time. Let's bring it all together and lock in what we've covered to ensure you walk away with total recall.
Here are your 5 highly testable, must-remember facts. Number 1, DYC, the Digi Yatra Central Ecosystem, is the absolute custodian of the ID validation process. Number 2, the whole seamless experience is driven by facial recognition technology. Number 3, it's built on 4 interconnected pillars: connected passengers, airports, flying, and systems. Number 4, the impact is huge. It lowers operational costs, massively boosts passenger throughput, and intelligently addresses privacy using a decentralized mobile wallet. And finally, number 5, always remember the limitation. Identity is digitized, but physical security clearance is still strictly mandatory. I want to leave you with a provocative thought to analyze. We've seen how this system entirely eliminates the friction of airport travel. But look at the underlying mechanism here. How does relying on a decentralized identity framework reshape the future of digital governance and privacy globally? I mean, if our faces become our secure keys, safely protected by decentralized wallets, what other heavily congested, outdated systems in our society are just waiting to be completely redesigned? Think about that as you consider where digital transformation is taking us next. Thanks for joining this briefing.